Well, howdy, folks. DaveMan here again, Rollman Revolution, on the road, heading out to the beach to go talk to some young folks again, try to see if we can get the mind stimulated. Excuse me there. For anybody out there right now who is trying to understand what this weekly, this new news cycle that basically has come out with President Trump and his intelligence team supposedly shitting the bed and sharing secrets with some reporter by accident through a Signal app. Now, for those who don't know what the Signal app is, I use it on my phone too. It is a backwards and forwards end-to-end encrypted communication in which you can either delete or set up your chat so that you can delete a message over time or after somebody reads it or blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of encryption involved with it. So it's actually a pretty good app if you want to have end-to-end encryption over stuff that is not really that important, but important enough that you don't want a lot of people to see it and it could be deleted after the fact. Now, should we be sharing intel secrets over that? Of course not. But if you read the comments or read the back and forth that went on in the Signal chat, no specific target, when and where, all that other kind of stuff never really came to fruition. So really, there is nothing there that would hold up in a court that would say, yeah, those people purposely shared secret information and it was negligence and all this other stuff. Because the Democrat Party, and this mainstream media deep state apparatus, whatever you want to call them, have literally nothing on Donald Trump and his team. They are trying to use the court system, this lawfare system, to try to muck up any possible process that Trump is trying to initiate. So if he's bombing the Houthis, or if he's trying to make deals with Russia, or if he's trying to set up the United States so that we don't get screwed over by other foreign countries, well, you have an opposition within our own government trying to offset that. And I can't understand the reason why. The only people that would do the opposition of what Trump is doing are traitors to this nation. And that's where we have to come full circle. See, we're not identifying, or we're not even calling out the people in our own government that are doing this. See, if you and I were basically on the same team, and you were my third baseman, and every single time a play or some situation was hit to you, you just ran out of the way or didn't do anything for it, well, you're not really on our team anymore. You're literally trying to screw up the whole situation, and that is what the Democrat Party and this nuanced deep state apparatus is trying to do. When you have no cards and you have nothing to offer, the only thing that they can do is muck up the system, screw it up, try to take people on a journey and try to make people think something is bad when it really isn't. So if you are a person that doesn't pay attention to this, mainstream media or this political junkie nonsense, okay? If you happen to hear anything about President Trump and his intelligence people not knowing what the hell they're doing, if you hear negative shit about Pete Hegseth is by far probably one of the best Secretary of Defenses we could ever hope for. He's got a warrior mentality, the warrior ethos mentality. He doesn't believe we should be in these forever fucking wars, constantly keep financing the military-industrial complex. And that's the reason why you have opposition to him, because he's cutting into the profits of big guns, big bullets, big military. And when you have a defense secretary who's saying, hey, yeah, we really need to cut down on all of the waste, fraud, and abuse, well, light bulbs go off in the heads of all of these contractors. They are starting to shit themselves because they can't go on these luxury vacations anymore and keep screwing the American people over. No. They're getting very upset over the fact that President Trump is trying to put the power back into the hands of the people, which the original framers of this country set the system up to do. I've had it up to here with listening to people, even within the MAGA community. There's new faces that keep coming on board to MAGA, and they keep getting into the chats and all of the forums trying to say, oh, Pam Bondi is a shill and she's a piece of shit and she ain't doing anything and she's screwing it all up. And that, Kash Patel, he was a waste of space too, because, where are all the arrests, everybody? Where are the arrests? He said he was going to go in. Stop it, for frying crap. These people have only been in office for 60 days. Do you know how much bullshit and crap has been stacked up over the course of the past 50, 60 years? Decades upon decades, my friends, of bullshit that never seems to go anywhere. Why? Why does things in government never ever seem to change? Because, well, you have a government that is set up to create status quo, meaning that we ain't gonna change anything. We're just gonna go along and get along with the way that the system is set up for decades and decades and decades. And that's how that city has run for many, many decades. So you got a guy like Trump comes in here and says, you know what, this is bullshit. We can't keep spending, $2 trillion every single year when we only have $1 in the bank account. Common sense shit, right? You have to cut your budget. You are only as powerful as your resources, your finances, your military. I mean, Trump is thinking about all of the things that this deep state apparatus has pretty much broken apart. All of the money. I mean, this country is the richest country in the world, and yet we are broke. How does that happen? It happens when you have grifters, criminals, liars, and thieves leading the nation. And they're handing out that money all to their buddies, to their contract buddies. Oh, we're going to give this money to this contract and this contract. But guess what? Every one of these senators, representatives, especially the ones that are all deep into that deep state, have millions of dollars in their bank accounts. Now, how in hell's name a guy like Chuck Schumer, who's making $200,000 maybe a year on a government fucking salary, has got $65-70 million in the bank, multiple houses, hedge funds, and has got all of these accounts with all this money in it. How do these guys manage to do that? Well, it's really easy. They stole it. They stole it all. While you and I were sleeping, they write up their little legislation package and try to, shove it on into USAID. They give a good title to it. They tell you, oh, this is for United States aid. We're going to help all these wonderful people around the world. Meanwhile, they're just screwing everybody around the world and stealing the money in the process. So no, I've had it up to here with anybody, especially those new faces to MAGA that are going to try to get in there and try to muck everything all up and try to say that President Trump is this and his team is doing this. Screw you guys. You have no idea what you're talking about. You just got to the game, and if you're going to continue to keep playing that, I'm going to expose your ass. I am over this crap. President Trump has been right on 99% of the major issues that he has had to deal with. So I think it's about time you shut your mouth and let President Trump do what he needs to do. You got to give him time in there. You got to give him time with his team. And I have had it with those faces in MAGA keep saying that, oh, we're not getting anywhere, and these people are shills, and these people are a waste of time. Screw you. You don't know these people. You don't know how they operate, and you don't know how President Trump operates. You need to sit, shut your mouth, watch, and listen to what happens, because I'm telling you, days of thunder are only going to get crazier, and Donald Trump is definitely going to take this country back from this deep state. All right, my friends, I've reached my destination. I will talk with you soon. Don't forget to fight. Your voice really matters, but you have to stay educated. You have to know what's going on, and you can't sit there and argue with me in the chat and think that you all of a sudden know something because, oh, it didn't happen on your timeline. Oh, Pam Bondi didn't move at the rate you wanted to. Kash Patel didn't move at the rate you wanted him to. Oh, really? Well, guess what? Trump knows what he's doing. Trump put Pam there. Trump put Kash there, and Trump put Pete there, and all of these other secretaries there. And I trust Trump. I know he knows what he's doing. So it's about time you just back off for a second, let the man do his job, and then in a year's time, 2 years' time, if shit ain't getting done, that's when you can say, hey, what the hell's going on here? You promise, you promise, you promise. But 60 days? Come on. Calm the hell down, take a breath, go have a cigarette, go have a friggin' beer, and relax for a minute. Trump's getting shit done. He's getting shit done. All right, my friends, I'll talk with you soon. Take care. Peace.